All right, I'd like to welcome you guys to Morning Mimosas. In today's episode, we're going to have a musical chat with a musical couple. It is Emigine and Ignite Flo. You guys welcome them to Morning Mimosas. How you guys doing today?
Good, good,
We're
good.
doing great. Doing great. Thank you.
That's perfect.
How are
So
you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that. So I just want to go ahead and start off. Like I said, we're gonna just sit here and have a musical chat with them. If you guys want to go ahead and introduce yourselves to the people.
Hey guys, I'm Emigine. That's Emigine, also known as Box State Queen. I also go by the Box State Queen. And I am a music artist and a model and a writer, a multidimensional artist from Colorado, with many different kind of art strings and art ties that go to myself.
Yeah, I'm Ignite Flo, IgKnight Flo, from Colorado, born and raised. Uh, you know, and I do what I do. We do music, we do production, we do lyricism, we do it all.
That is awesome. You guys heard it here. So let's just hop into the questions. So you guys can either answer this as a couple or answer this individually. So what attracted you guys to do music in the first place? Anybody can go.
What attracted me to do music? Was just the whole essence of it. I love the sound, the way it makes you feel, everything to it. I grew up on music. I had a musical family, in a way. I was the youngest in my family, so I was very inspired by all of my family members and in a different way. I have three older sisters, one of them being Holly Sisa. Um, and I was very inspired by her being a very musical person. She can sing, dance, write, so many things. My other older sister, Priska, she was a poet and she also drew a lot of artwork. And so I was inspired by that. And my sister, Gloria, she was a dancer. And so I was very inspired by that. My father would play a lot of music around the house, and my mom would dance too and would sing to us going to sleep. So I was very inspired by that. And then growing up with my sisters, we'd watch music videos, and I would just be so intrigued by that and wanted to do that. And just kind of growing up and going through different things, writing poetry and music kind of helped me get up and get through a lot of things along the way. That's how I started getting into music.
That's awesome. Thank you for that shout out, sis, by the way. I appreciate that. But what about you, Mr. Ignite Flow?
Um, really, I started. I've always been around music. I feel like almost any black African cultural, wherever you're from, I feel like most families they do a nice amount of music. And I was kind of blessed in my family to have a very well-rounded kind of um listening of music. So I grew up listening to from stuff like Temptations to BB and CC Winans to Frank Sinatra to all types of stuff. So it was very going in that. Growing up, my sister used to do poetry, and so um, she used to do poetry to beats. So that was very inspiring for me, and made me want to start getting into music, as well as my dad being a good writer. And just kind of wanting to get into the writing process and just kind of wanting to be a good writer, and then just getting into the music and just loving the aspect of music and hip hop, and just the metaphors and the similes and the all of those things. And that's really what just kind of propelled me to be like, well, let me try this, let me do this.
I like that. That's really dope. And Frank Sinatra, that's different. I don't hear too many black people talk about Frank Sinatra like that. So I feel like that's pretty dope. So my next question for y'all is why is it that you guys chose the genre that you guys chose to do?
I'll go first. I chose mainly rap and hip hop, mainly because that's what I was closely connected to growing up, and that's what I mainly listened to. I like a lot of different kinds of music, and I like to infuse that into my rap and my hip hop and things like that. I like pop a lot. I like pop R&B and stuff like that. So I kind of infused that into my rap hip hop kind of mode and genre. But hip hop mainly stands out to me because just kind of growing up and being drawn to the hip hop culture and kind of being around that hip hop culture, it really kind of influenced me to become that and become a writer based on my own life experiences and things like that.
I can kind of agree with Imogene on that. I feel like the reason why I got into rap, hip hop, just the whole culture as a uh, uh, whole, was just me being kind of polarized by it, being drawn, being a young kid, and once again hearing the words being put together, how they were being put together, how they were, being said. It was different, it was different than, the singing. Like my family was really into singing, all the singers and stuff like that. And that just wasn't me. So, um, and I like singing, but it just wasn't that it didn't speak to me like that, and I felt like hip hop and rap kind of really just spoke to me, and it just kind of made me feel like I could get into this and I could express what I feel through words and expression and rhyme schemes and etc. So that's why I got into it.
That is awesome. For the most part, we do the genres that is close, closest to our family, closest to our religion. So I completely understand that. So my next question is more so around like Colorado rappers versus like Colorado athletes. As you guys know, like states like California, New York, maybe even Florida, for the most part, they have famous athletes, famous rappers. Here in Colorado, for the most part, we just have mostly just famous athletes and stuff like that. Why do you guys think that Colorado is not as diverse in that entertainment spectrum, if I may say, is other states? Why is it that Colorado's rappers aren't just as big as like their athletes and all like in other states? Because I know you two very well, and you guys know how to spit. So I'm just trying to figure out what is stopping Colorado from being bigger than the other states that I named.
I'm gonna answer that first.
I think it's the way that Colorado has been portrayed for a while, and how it's been compared to such bigger states. It's always been looked as the smaller state or the state that has that doesn't have a lot going and a lot moving, which we do, and I feel like we do. But I do want to say compared to those states with a larger promotion and a larger kind of outlook on it, I would say that Colorado, we don't have like super huge like production companies. We don't have super huge acting brands and companies out here, corporate buildings and things like that, like Paramount. We don't have like things like that. That think places like California and Florida and things like that. We don't have like we have like really cool natural movie sets and scenes, and I'm sure that we do have places where we have like on-set movie scene sets and stages and things of that sort. But things like that with actors and music artists and things like that. I was just comparing that, but with music, like same thing. Like there's not like a huge record label out here, and we don't necessarily need one. But I feel like as far as with music artists, it's hard for us to connect with one another because people are in like people are in like competition. People aren't really trying to support one another. They're more in competition with one another, and I feel like that could be kind of setting us back as a state.
I
I feel like
agree.
there's so many talent out here. There's so many great talent out here. I just feel like it's unfortunate just because we don't have that support system like other states do. I would
I
say.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly. I agree.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that as well. As well as I feel like we got to be honest with ourselves, you know, and be like, okay, we live in a predominantly, um, you know, Caucasian area, you know, where we're producing a lot of rap music that has not been spread to that culture, if that makes sense.
Yes,
As
it
well
does.
as well as well
Right.
as we're in a weird situation, right? Because a lot of us out here want to do big things, and like Imogene said, but we have not yet come together is in this competition. As well as like I feel like as a state, we're in an area where um like Imogene said as well, we don't have I don't have Dr. Dre down the street. I don't have Kendrick Lamar down the street. I don't even have a Dom Kennedy down the street. Now we have people like Trev Rich, we got Ray Reeves, we got those people, but we have not yet gone to a level to where it is something that can put us out into the main airwaves. And until we have that, like we're gonna be where we're at. We have Olympic Center out here, so that's why we have athletes that can take their stuff to the next level. You know, we have uh uh
Right.
the School of the Mines, and we have the DTC Center, where if you want to take your technology to the next level, you can do that. If you want to, you know what I'm saying? If you want to come out here and you want to do architecture or construction because of all of the new developments and everything out here, you can succeed. But we don't have anything like that per se for our music that can take us to that next level. And really, yeah, that's why I feel like we are where we are.
I completely agree with you guys there. The lack of being connected and the lack of support, and just more so, I'm just going to say hateration. For some reason, if someone else is doing the same thing that you're doing, they think of you as competition versus looking at themselves as their own competition. So, no, I just completely agree with you guys there because we do need to change that mindset when it comes to that. So Colorado can be bigger, than those states that we named. But
I
we'll get there one
agree.
day. We'll get there one
And
day.
can I add
But
something to that?
go ahead.
And I agree with that. I agree 100% with both of you guys. And I just wanted to add that it's like when artists do show love to other artists, like most artists, they reciprocate that, or they appreciate that. They show some kind of sign of appreciation. I'm not looking for a response from everybody or whatever, but it's just an example. When artists show too much love, or when they're showing love to an artist, sometimes they don't get that back, or they get nothing. And like, you know what I mean? Like artists out here that act like Beyonce or something. You know what I mean? And it kind of it
Yeah,
kind of can make a distasteful, you know what I mean? Like leave a distasteful like feel, you know what I mean, in somebody's mouth. So
That can
so I don't know. That was just kind of something I wanted to share too, because I do love showing love to all the artists out here that are talented, that I know and that have showed love to me even, so
right. And just to add just a little bit, like I mean, I feel like the love is necessary, right? You want to show love and you keep showing love. And I feel like even that, like even feeling like people are Hollywood, or like, you know, like what everybody likes to say here, going Hollywood, you know what I'm saying? Um I feel like even in that, it's like you still gotta show love, but it is understandable why so many people are in their little circles, or in their little cliques, or in their little, you know, whatever it might be, because you know somebody along the way has felt like, oh, you know, this person feels this way, that, oh, they think they that, or they think they that. When in all reality, like we all should just still be like, you know what I'm saying, just like continuing to uplift and like, you know, show us out. Like we ain't all gotta hop on each other's songs, we ain't all gotta, you know what I'm saying, sing kumbaya, you know, together, but it's just about, you know what I'm saying, just show
exactly.
mutual respect, you know.
agreed. No, I 100% agree with that. And then just to piggyback off what you were saying, supporting someone else, y'all, is free. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's another thing that I'd like to instill in morning mimosas, y'all. You guys hear me say it all the time. Supporting is free. You know what I'm saying? Like it's free to support somebody. It's free to like their shit. It's free to comment on their shit. It's free to share their shit. It takes less than 30 seconds. It's not gonna deter your day at all. So yeah, I just
Right.
wanted to go ahead and reiterate that while I had these two spectacular guests on my show tonight. You guys know supporting is free. I'm gonna keep saying it, so just support. I mean, I feel like support will actually grow Colorado's music industry better. Like it'll grow exponentially if people actually support each other. Like Carson said, it ain't gotta be no
Facts.
kumbaya. Us all of us be on a mega track or nothing, but just love and respect. But no, I had to rant about that because I'm very very big on that. But my next question is now you guys are also not you guys are not just a couple. You guys are a couple that do music together as well. So how do you guys keep the business aspect away from the personal aspect of you guys' relationships?
I feel like the biggest thing with that is just, being able to separate, um, like you said, that this is business, with the music. That there are things that are going to be said or talked about, and even just things that, like, hey, don't get too, what I'm saying, wrapped up into it, too involved into it, too, you know, uh, uh emotionally attached to it. Now there are going to be things that are said, and I feel like it's just being communicative and talking and just being honest. But I feel like, besides that, it's just knowing what you guys are trying to do. Have the same goal and be like, okay, all right, this is what we doing, and knowing what to do and how to do it, and setting boundaries with each other, etc., like things like that. But ultimately, communication and then comprehension.
I agree with that. I would say the same thing. Also, like you said, we just kind of don't mix business with pleasure, even though it's always a pleasure to do business. We just always don't like to mix business and pleasure. And we always try to make sure that we have an understanding for one another and support one another because we both know that we're both artists and we have to keep that understanding that we have to, that we both have, our own careers and that we have our own, music, our own style and everything. And I feel like we do have that understanding. And I feel like as long as we kind of keep that, going and keep that respect for one another, that's the best that can happen.
I completely agree, and I'm glad you guys are dropping these gems because, as you guys know, my podcast is, I promote healing and education, and you guys are doing the education part for me by, teaching these young artists who are together, single, etc., how to conduct themselves. So I completely appreciate that. And actually, going on to my next question about business. So, is there any projects that you guys are going to be working on? Any past projects that you guys want to talk about? Maybe like the process for maybe like a new artist that's starting out? Like any advice you guys want to give to a new artist that will be listening to this?
Advice for a new artist. The best thing I can say, I know you've probably heard it before, is stay true to yourself. Always keep working, and keep writing. You can only get better. You know what I mean? And so that's like my best word is kind of stay true to yourself, keep working, believe in yourself, and go for it. Keep writing, keep going, keep striving, and get yourself into different opportunities sometimes, and step out of your comfort zone. If something's too comfortable for a while, try to step out of that and try to go to something different and try to keep going and expanding your mind, your brain, your writing palette, all of that.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, and just to speak on that, I feel like the biggest thing I have to new artists is don't be afraid to try new things as an artist. Um, learn your voice, learn the levels of your voice, learn where
Yes.
you could take your voice. I would say stay focused, stay consistent when you can't be motivated. Um, and or when you aren't motivated, stay consistent. Um, and just don't be afraid to fail, and don't be afraid to just do your thing. Everything doesn't have to be all the time perfect.
Amen.
Just
Tell them.
just just move your thing. To just talk on music. What Imogene just started recording, what your third project
Mixtape. Yeah.
project mixtape. Um and then as well as she just came out with I Used to Be a Party Girl, which is an amazing mixtape and album. And if you have not heard that, you need to go on all platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you got, YouTube Music, and go listen to that. And then we always working. We always got stuff. We got always a lot of stuff in the chamber. Right now, I probably got 3 projects that I'm thinking about dropping this year, which I probably will drop this year. Um, I mean, I'm working on a lot of stuff with people in the city. Um, so I got a lot of stuff going with that. I know Imogene got a lot of features. We just trying to stay moving and working. Imogene, what you got a performance coming up in Atlanta on the when?
On the 11th of February.
For sure. And what's that about?
Yay.
So I'm going to this female music artist performance. I'm super excited about it. It's a great opportunity. I'm looking
Yes, we are
forward
happy
to
for
it.
you.
So I want you guys to tap in. I will be dropping more information about it very, very soon.
Yay, that is completely awesome. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. Uh, we will be cheering you on during that event. And you know that Morning Mimosas will be backing you guys up. So we're gonna actually wrap it up here soon, but I just want you guys to give just 2 more pieces of information where people can find you guys at social media wise, and just any last thoughts.
Okay. I just want to say thank you so much for having us on
No
your
problem.
podcast. It is an honor to be on Morning Mimosas. You guys can follow me on Instagram under Real Exotic Emmy. You can also follow me under Box Day Queen on Instagram. That's my second page. And I have a few more pages that you can follow after that, but you'll find it right after you find those 2 pages. Real Exotic Emmy is RealExoticEmi. Box Day Queen is BoxStateQueen. And follow my YouTube. It's under Emigine, Emigine, as well as my Apple Music, Tidal, Spotify. All of my music streaming sources are going to be under Emigine, Emigine.
For sure, for sure. And you can find me on all social media sites for the most part with Ignite Been Hot. That's IGKNIGHTBEENHOT. And that's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, anything you can think of. On YouTube, look up Ignite Flow, IGKNIGHT space Flow, FLO. Um, and just any last thoughts that I have, just man, y'all keep doing your thing, man. I love what Colorado is doing. I do feel like we are on the path of greatness. We are doing a lot of things. There's a lot of good music, a lot of good moves being made, a lot of good artists out here doing their things. I have a couple homies who are out here pushing the scene and doing their thing. So I just say to everybody, anybody who's listening, whatever you are, what I'm saying, focusing in on, whatever you are pursuing, do what you need to do. And what I'm saying, stay focused and stay on it, and you can achieve that shit.
All right, you guys heard it here. I just want to say thank you to Emigine and Ignite Flow for coming on Morning Mimosas once again. As you guys know, this is Morning Mimosas, where we put value in criminal justice, promoting healing and education back in the Black community. Y'all stay tuned.